Hi everybody, it's your Angel's Advocate, Midnight Mora, and I'm here for JLO round 2. Okay, the reason why she's having her tower moment is because she's not going with the flow of life. I know you're probably going like, well, how do you know? Or what do you know that is best for her? Or look at your own damn life, which I am. And the cards will fall where they may fall. And right now, I just dropped my cards. And I think I showed my butthole right now. Anyways, Queen of Cups, Six of Cups in the reverse. So there's something from her past, Ben Affleck, which she's thinking of her self in the past. This goes to her special with the movie and the album and the documentary. She's trying to orchestrate, or she's trying to manufacture a false idea of how Ben feels about it, or what is actually going on. So that's why the Queen of Cups showed up, and then the Six of Cups in reverse is that they were fond memories, but they're being soured. She wants to hold on to all the prestige and all of the clout and all of the good stuff that's happened, and she's holding on to it tightly and holding on to that image of her and Ben so long ago to Empress in reverse. It's become greedy, it's become vanity, it's become prideful, it's become almost all the 7 deadly sins. You have the Four of Swords in reverse, which, if right side up, you're taking a break. That's what she needs to do, is take a break and step away from the spotlight. She ain't gonna do that. You know that's not possible. Three of Cups in reverse, which right side up, it still could mean a third party. But I think this is not so much as Ben stepping out on her, as in there is another entity. That's not just her and Ben. Her and Ben weren't enough for her. She had to bring in a third member to their relationship, which is her ego. And she's not really seeing this. I don't think JLo is consciously the Magician in reverse. Are you kidding me? And these are all the cards that just fell. The rest of the decks right here, they all fell on the ground, and they kind of told me everything I need to know. She's being the Magician, but in reverse. So I think it's already caught up to Ben, which he's in the know of all of this debauchery. And she's in the know. I think she knows it in her gut, but it's her ego is blinding her so much that she's doubling down, and she's trying to fight and scrape. And here's a couple of things I noticed. Number one, her interview with Zane Lowe when she was doing her new album. It dropped about 6 months ago, and here's the problem with that. She said she's wrote some of her best work, or her best content, and it's been the most near and dear to her heart on this new album. Although it might have been nice and fresh whenever she was going through it back in 2003, right now it's stale, not because she's telling it now, but because she's only telling us after the fact. We're not, of course, okay, don't get me wrong, we're not privy, or we shouldn't be privy to all her personal feelings. That's her right to guard them. But it's a falsity, it's a farce, pretty much, of her saying, oh, now my life is complete. I don't know what I would have done without Ben. He's the only one I've ever loved. And that's kind of, like, you're already got Ben. You guys got married. You signed on the dotted line. So you think you're safe now to talk about that. We want to see you and I, and even Ben maybe, want to see her when she's not safe, when she's just going operating through her faith, not her fear like she is right now, because her ego is blinding her so much that her fear is not letting her, it's blinding her with keep going, keep doing more, and it's really just screwing up her career, her personal relationships, you know, how it's fulfilling this prophecy that she didn't want to, and she thought by talking about it and everything that was going to make it okay because she was aware of it, and that she was aware that she had to pay $20,000 $20 million for her project, and that she knew that people were going, why the F were you doing this? Nobody wanted it. And she knew that, and she thought by saying it and creating the documentary behind the scenes that was going to make her seem vulnerable. But as many have said, that all those scenes where she's like, this used to be me in the Bronx with the orange soda and a turkey sandwich on the block. And it's like, no, we want to hear if, okay, let's, I'm trying to figure out how to say this without being X-rated. We want to hear about your deepest, darkest things so that we know that we're okay. We don't want to hear that your heart might have been broken by Ben Affleck, which happened 20 years ago, and now you're living a fairy tale. How the hell does that make you more vulnerable? And that's something, a woman so smart, call it midlife crisis, call it karma, call it a tower moment that's happening to a lot of us, and this just happens to be her, that she hasn't really had a real tower moment. The last one she had was right before, or that whole time period in the early aughts, was, you know, right before she did On the Floor, was because sorry, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so that was a tower moment, and it's coming back around about 15 years later. And the thing is that she hasn't been doing what she should be doing as far as giving back for the great life that she has had, and spending quality time with certain people, and stepping away from the spotlight because she's doing it for the wrong reasons. If she was working hard towards something and had a reason and a why, then she would be getting so many accolades. But that movie didn't give us anything. It just gave us, oh, that was a thought that you should have just done in a short little, maybe a Hollywood true story thingy. I know she did one on that, but you know, that, and then mixed. First one was the JLO interview. The second big factor was when she went on Kelly Clarkson, her show. Kelly made sure to make a statement before JLO came out, and this is doing press for her movie and everything. She said, JLO was the kindest person that I've ever met, and blah blah blah. Back when I just won American Idol, she was kind, so I want everybody to know that, and I will always be grateful. You know, you and I know both for a fucking fact that her a publicist or herself or somebody, her people told her people, or they said it directly, or some sort of form of that, where they said, you must say this for us to go on your show. That's why Kelly said it. And then with JLO and her liking it and everything, and JLO liking it and loving it when the music was at best sort of decent. I don't know, let's be honest here. Let's see. The next thing that I have is that on the interview you got Ben versus her soulmate, only love of her life. So orchestrated, so fluffed up for the camera. The vulnerability is super planned. Exposing fears after the fact. Being in a safe place and trying to repair her image while quintessentially damaging it. It's Ben's not enough just to have to go off into the sunset with Ben. Oh, she wants that. Don't get me wrong. She wants that. She loves him. She has a right to all the people who are going to say, oh, yeah, no, what the hell do you know? Or you don't, blah, blah, blah. I'm impartial. I don't care if she shaves her head, she pulls a Britney tomorrow, or she finally realizes and The smart thing for her to do would be to get a Diane Sawyer interview and say, you know what? I was going through all this, and that, and now this is me putting my heart on the line, like Kevin Spacey right now, trying to pick up the pieces. Right now, she's kind of doing, no, P. Diddy's is way worse, but she's doing the most damage by completely avoiding right now the ear on the street and how everybody's talking about her. It's not that our opinion matters, it's the fact that she's so out of tune with the ear on the street and the vibe of everything, and she's doing it on purpose. She's ignoring it on purpose and hoping it'll just go away, and that she pulled out Atlas after that wretched documentary movie thing that she did. Then she did Atlas. Now that Atlas would have been so much more and so much better and critically raved about had it not been just for that piece of shit thing that she did. She needs to step away and come back in a different way, in a new form. She needs to come back not in singing, maybe acting if it's a gritty, nice, meaningful role, which she always seems to look glamorous in these roles. She always seems to be the hero or the Aaron Brockovich of these things. We've all seen her do that. If anything, maybe a shitty rom-com. We'll take that. However, it's just the same thing, and then, you know, one could argue too. One could say, well, she's just, you know, doing her thing and everything like that. Shit, I lost my train of thought again. There's so many notes I have here. I had to get them on camera. Kelly Clarkson, she's a Leo. I'm a Leo. She won't leave well enough alone. So yeah, she's doubling down. And I don't think Ben, who's also a Leo, is gonna put up with that. I totally lost my train of thought of what I was gonna say before that. So many thoughts, so many things flooding into my head. But the main conclusion of this video is JLO Part 2. Is that she's gonna fall, and she's gonna fall really hard. And that is the thing that's gonna make her human, and is eventually going to be her saving grace, because she hasn't had that real tower moment or that fall from grace. And it's not that I want her to suffer, I want her to actually see what we see. And it's not the fact that our opinion is what makes her, it's that this little whisper has become a roar of truth, and she hasn't proved it any differently. And proving it, all it would take would be her to live in her truth, and she's not living in her truth. But she will be soon. But right now, it's a tough time for her, but hopefully her comeback will be even greater than anything she's ever done. Thank you for watching. This has been JLO Part 2. I am Midnight Mora. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next go.